What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of the Cross Console Hangout. This week, me and Sir Robert is going to talk about Godzilla, the greatest kaiju movie that's came out this year in North America.
Greatest?
Well, isn't it? It's the only
It's not
kaiju
the only
movie
kaiju, but
that has come out this year in North America.
okay. Guess Pacific Rim would have been later end of last year, I guess.
Was Pacific Rim last year?
Okay, Google now. When did Pacific Rim debut?
Ooh, look at Mr. Big Time. I'm going to use my Google now.
August 4th, 2013.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, hot off the trails of Pacific Rim,
Start of August, somewhere in there.
which, Pacific Rim, I know a lot of people liked it. It didn't do that well stateside. I know it's made most of its money across the pond. So that's why I was kind of interested to see, like, how much Godzilla made its opening weekend. Like, it was almost the highest opening movie of all time that the weekend that it opened.
Was it really?
I think it made like $93 million.
Well, they made 15 off of me.
15 million? My goodness, how many times did you see it?
15 million off of me. I saw it the first time and was like, man, this movie's junk. I gotta go watch it again and see if I missed something.
Yeah.
I think I might have missed something.
And then
Still might have missed something.
what's bad is 15 million, that's only like 30 times, especially if you go see it GPA 3D.
I did.
Yeah.
It was really only like 25 times.
So I'll give my thoughts. Some of my earliest movies that I remember watching are Godzilla movies, like Godzilla versus Megalodon, King Kong versus Godzilla, which is probably one of my favorites. I liked Godzilla versus Megalon. Yeah, not Megalodon.
Megalodon?
Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, it's Megalon. That's where you just fight the giant cockroach.
Megalion?
Megalon, Magalon.
Okay.
Mostly because I remember, man, I gotta find because I always forget the other character's name. Yeah, because Godzilla is joined by a little sidekick, Jet Jaguar.
Jet Jaguar?
Yeah, completed by the trio of inventors or knocked unconscious. So Jet Jaguar is this robot that was created by some inventors, and he can, just like everything in Japanese shows, he can become bigger, and so he starts out human size and then like grows and becomes the same size as Godzilla and Megalon, and helps Godzilla whoop some giant cockroach booty.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, you should check it out. So I was super excited for this movie. And let me phrase that. Initially, I was very hesitant because I remember the last time we made a Godzilla movie in North America. It wasn't that great.
You just hate North America.
Yeah, I did. No, I don't. Well, the Canadian.
Go up to Canada.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go see John.
Yeah, where's Johnny? I go get some Tim Hortons. What's the donut holes they call them?
Timbits.
Yeah, Timbits.
Oh man.
Because because that movie was terrible. Because like Godzilla's not a mutated lizard.
Was it as bad as this one?
Yes, it's worse.
I know we have very different opinions of this movie.
Yeah, I noticed that, and even before Pacific Rim, we had what was that Abomination? With where the guy Cloverfield hated that movie.
I have big expectations for Cloverfield, and again, very let down.
See, I was kind of the same way. I like big butt monster movies. I grew up watching that.
I will say I liked the way Cloverfield was filmed to an extent.
See, and even by the time Cloverfield came along, I felt that whole like, oh look, I'm recording everything while it's going on gag had kind of started running dry.
I don't know if any movies that had done that before them.
Blair Witch Project,
Well, okay, there's one.
and that was it. I think, yeah.
Um,
I
I'll
mean,
say that what was the movie with the kids with the superpowers? Um,
Chronicle. See,
Chronicle. Chronicle,
Chronicle,
I thought did it really well.
Chronicle did it well because something that I've always hated in those movies. It's like, hey, crap has just hit the fan. Throw down that camera and run.
Yeah,
Where Chronicle, because the guy can like levitate things, there are scenes where he's levitating a camera and it's moving around.
yeah.
Especially and so that makes sense, or it fits better in that movie
They
because
explain it better.
yeah, and
I
so
will say that if I were in Cloverfield, I probably would have kept filming.
and then
I wouldn't have filmed all of the crap that they filmed.
the guy's name was like Herbert something something, and it spelled out HUD, or they called him HUD. That was like his nickname.
Hmm.
And I don't know, it just like it was cool because I was like, oh man, we're finally gonna get to watch a movie that's like that guy that you see running, almost getting stopped on by Godzilla. It's what if he was recording during this? We're going to see everything from his perspective. So I hated that movie. So I was very hesitant initially when Godzilla come out because I was afraid that it was going to be just Godzilla running around, stomping on buildings, and the military trying to shoot him down.
Okay, we were talking earlier, before we actually hit record, about how you enjoy still watching Power Rangers.
Yes.
You didn't buy the poster behind you, but that
Yes.
you still like enjoying watching Power Rangers because of watching the TV show and the two people in suits still fighting.
Yeah, that poster.
So, my question to you is, what are your expectations for the new Power Rangers movie that just got announced a couple weeks ago?
Well, it's going to be
Without seeing anything, just
it's going to be
are
a
you excited
reboot.
or are you let down?
Yes.
All right.
It's what's weird is the TV series stuff is still going to be going on, but they're going to reboot Mighty Morphin into movies. So what it sounds like is you might have, huh?
They can't bring Trini back.
But it's going to be a whole new new team.
I don't think you got the joke.
Yeah, I know because she died in a car accident in 1999.
I'm a terrible person.
Yeah. Funny thing too. In that the Super Sentai version, which is the Japanese version of the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, over in Japan it's called Super Sentai. The Yellow Ranger is actually a male.
Yeah.
Because at that time yellow was still considered an effeminate color.
You can tell that in the cutscenes that are in the fight scenes. You can see a few male parts.
Well, and then the suit isn't a skirt.
That's
All
true.
the female characters, their suit is always a skirt.
That's true.
So that was funny. And then, okay, so before we get back on topic, I got another crazy little Power Rangers fact. The Blue Ranger, Billy.
Can you hear that? The little
No.
girl crying. Stop texting me.
No, my phone kept going off. Is the guy that played Billy in real life is gay.
Yes.
And the reason he left the show, and I'm not going to say the word that was used just because of several different reasons, but he got tired of being called a
certain word.
Bundle of sticks.
A British cigarette?
Yeah. One too many times. And that kind of tore me up a little bit inside because
I
I
remember
remember
that.
Power Rangers being like the first show about like hugs and kisses and we're all equal and let's all hold hands and sing
Not offset.
Kumbaya. But apparently it wasn't. So okay, back to Godzilla.
Yes.
And my camera just fell down.
I thought you had moved it.
It's
I gotta
bad.
look at your keyboard for the first time ever.
Yeah, it's bad because I got this like the monitor's real thin and so it can't fit on the webcam. Well, anyways, so there was some trailers come out, and I finally started getting excited because it showed like other creatures, and then I was getting really excited because I was thinking it was gonna be like Rodan by the one claw that you saw and all this stuff,
Right.
and so that finally got me excited. So when I go to watch it, overall, I will say I'll probably buy it when it comes out on Blu-ray, see all the special features and stuff. I liked it. It could have been better. It could have used a lot more like Godzilla fight and stuff. I was a little bummed when you finally see like Godzilla's walking out of the water and it's the camera's kind of panning up and you see like his leg and it comes up and then it pans around. He's roars and stuff. I was like, yes, he's
No.
about to like knock the garbage out of that other kaiju, and then it like cuts to San Francisco.
Names.
The other guys are, I think they call them Motus.
Motus or
Yeah,
something. They were like massive
yeah,
organic terrestrial something.
yeah.
But
It was a lame name.
like they never had like actual monster names. Like, 'cause I
Yeah,
swore that the one that was flying was like I was like, oh, it's Mothra, and then I was like, that doesn't look like a moth. So I had no idea what was going on. No, I will say that from a filmmaking standpoint, the director and the producers took a lot of liberties. I wrote about it in my review that should be going up on the site near in a few days. There's a couple tweaks that need to happen to it. But that they took liberties with the physics and like the reality of the movie. Like obviously the movie's not real. I'm not going to go into like thinking like, oh, this can actually happen. But looking at like physics of certain things, when this is a spoiler, so tune out for a couple of seconds. I'll give you a thumbs up when it's done. When the second monster comes out of the mountain, it seemed like, did I lose you? Your video?
no,
Oh, you're
no.
just not moving. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You're just staying really still. When he comes out of the mountain, I feel like because they were storing the pod or whatever that he was like the cocoon thing that he was stuck in. That I guess it was that she was in. I feel like the pod was a lot smaller than what she turned out to be, like her size. Like
Oh yeah,
yeah, like how did something this giant come out of a pod that would have been like this big?
and
Like
then
it didn't seem quite believable to me. Like the bird one, the wings, whatever, the male one coming out
was a lot smaller.
a lot smaller, a little more believable. The other one, it wasn't quite believable. I like being immersed into a movie, and when that happened, I was like immediately thrown out. I was like, that's not good. That's not real. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys a thumbs up. The spoiler alert is now over. You can unmute your monitors.
But it's not that big of a spoiler.
It's not that big, but I don't know. It kind of annoyed me.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of laughed a little bit when like they're going through and they're opening the windows and they find the one that's lit up and so they open the door and they half the mountain's missing and I'm like, you didn't see that when you was driving up?
Yeah, I thought the exact same thing. I thought the exact same thing.
Half this mountain is missing. Okay.
Like, what's that over there? Like you guys you're at a military base and you don't see this giant thing moving. You don't have anything on your radar that's just left your military base.
And I'm pretty sure as each foot is hitting down, there's small seismic activity going along.
Quite a bit.
So yeah, I wish the movie could have used a little bit more Godzilla.
A little more Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
I feel like they only put Bryan Cranston in the movie so that they could put him in the trailer and sell more tickets.
Yeah.
I think that's because I think any other actor could have done his role and made it more believable. Like I believe Bryan Cranston as the character, but because he's so like hot right now, like in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, so that's Walter, or okay, that's Frankie Muniz's dad, or anything
Oh,
else from like I can't take Bryan Cranston out of his previous roles. If I
and to go back to Power Rangers, one of Bryan Cranston's first acting gigs, he was a voice of a villain, not once but two different times on Power Rangers.
You're such a nerd.
I know, I know, especially when it comes to Power Rangers. Uh,
Never would have guessed.
yeah, I even though I'm like I could have used more Godzilla fights, like I was a little disappointed in the way they cut and showed that first one.
Yeah.
I I did like when
How close did Godzilla resemble Honey Badger, though?
all I know is Godzilla in this new movie has must have spent the last 6 years under the water, like going to all hours fitness, because Godzilla's all like, "What's up? You know,
Okay,
look at my guns.
okay.
Look at my."
I need your help on this one. I haven't seen the other Godzilla movies. In the previous ones, were Godzilla and like the humans teammates? Oh my goodness, were they teammates? Like the same thing
Um,
they are in this film?
most of the movies, Godzilla is the protector. There
Yeah.
are some movies where he is the bad guy. King Kong versus Godzilla, he is a bad guy. Gojira, he started off as the bad guy. Um, so kind of, yeah. And I liked Ken Watanabe's character. Once again, he was a character that was underused.
Which one was he?
The Japanese scientist.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Because I also thought it funny when he was like, in the 50s, they wasn't testing nuclear bombs. They was trying to destroy, and he says it. He says Gojira,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah,
If they were trying,
let, let's.
that's the thing that kind of confused me. If they were trying to kill him in the past with nukes, and they're trying to kill him again with nukes,
Well, they
it
wouldn't.
was a larger nuke, but
Yeah, and then I think they was just trying to like let's. You know how when you eat too much and you get real full and you want to take a nap? Maybe if we blow up this nuclear bomb and they're all around it, they'll get really full and go take a nap for like 100 years or something, and then the guys in the future can deal with him.
the bomb blowing up off the shore of San Francisco.
Yeah, and it was only like
There's
5 miles out.
no, like I wrote about this in my review. There's no nuclear fallout.
Yeah, because it wasn't that far away.
It was like 3 miles.
Yeah,
Like, and the helicopter like got him off of the boat like just in the nick of time, but that nothing happens to the helicopter.
yeah. Why don't you just like push the bomb in the water, because that would have helped. So I mean, yeah, the water would have had pretty bad nuclear fallout, but um,
Oh my god, no! Like I've seen those shows like on Discovery Channel where like the guy has to like survive certain situations, and he talks about he goes to this one where like a nuke is like set off in D.C. and like he's maybe out here where I am in Fairfax. Like if a nuke goes off in D.C., I'm dead. I'm dead.
yeah,
Like, it doesn't even matter. I'm dead. I'm only 15 minutes from D.C. If a nuke goes off there, I'm basically dead. But if I happen to survive, you've got like was it all of the radioactive particles start to like rain down, and you've got to like get inside doors and junk to get away from it.
yeah.
Like, as they're like pushing the boat off, I'm like, so where are they gonna hide? All of them just came out from underneath their bomb shelters.
Well, they're just gonna stand behind Godzilla, and it'll be fine.
But he's dead on the ground, and then he's alive again.
Yeah.
I swear, I was like, I was in my head screaming so loud for them not to do sequels, for them not to start a franchise. And in my head, I'm like, oh, they're gonna do it.
I think though,
They're gonna do it. No.
if you take less time, and like the next movies will take less time setting up like the backstory of Godzilla and all this stuff.
It's gonna be a 45-minute movie.
Yeah, I mean, What? Okay, this is what I've talked about that I think would be kind of cool, and it could be a way I could see them make the next movie. You have the American government to help prevent any further attacks from these creatures. They start, or basically with the Japanese government and other world government leaders, they make Mecha Godzilla. Mecha Godzilla malfunctions and starts killing and like rampaging cities and stuff, and Godzilla has to come back.
So now we're going to X-Men Days of Future Past.
Well, no, Mecha Godzilla is a character.
No, I know he is. No, I
Yeah,
know he is. But for Days of Future Past, they're going back to stop the creation of the Sentinel or
yeah,
Sentinel, whatever they are, those robots that are then going to kill the mutants, and then they start killing like normal people.
yeah. Well, the Sentinel started killing normal people because they was able to recognize that in their DNA they had the mutant gene and would be able to pass it on to their future descendants who would be born mutants. So that's why they started taking out humans. Um, but yeah, that's what I was thinking of, like Mechagodzilla or something, or even Rodan, or they need. I think this is what would help. They do need to pull from the list of other creatures that Godzilla has fought. I think it would be funny also if they just had Peter Jackson's King Kong show up and Godzilla and King Kong fight. It'd be a good crossover. Um, but I will say this: it has been a long time, and to tell you the truth, I can't remember the last time that I've been in a movie and when something happens, the crowd cheers. When Godzilla, when after the guy blows up the little egg nest, and he's about to get, okay, that might be spoiler. Well, anyways, after something happens,
Ignore what you guys just heard.
yeah, after something happens, something else is about to happen, and you see this white light come out from behind, like from where he's facing, and everybody starts cheering. I mean, I'm just like, yeah, okay, I know what's about to happen. Let's bring it on. And then it pans out, and you see Godzilla's tail start lighting up, and he shoots the atomic breath. Everybody goes crazy. And then later in that same fight, when Godzilla grabs the female one and starts like ripping her mouth apart and then breathes down her throat.
So you're not giving away the ending.
I didn't say it was the ending. I said later in that fight. Um, Shut up.
You're giving away like the greatest part of that movie.
Yes, and that makes it
right here that
worth going to watch. Like if you're bored, like tomorrow's Memorial Day, if you're barbecuing and you want to go show your love for the troops, go watch Godzilla for like $5, just for like the end fight sequence is. Oh, actually, there is something in that end fight sequence that I even like reached over to the buddy that was with me and made a comment. It's already like a good 15 minutes into this fight. Like half of San Francisco has already been destroyed, and then you have the flying creature flies by the office building, and there's people still in there working.
Was
I'm
it
like,
really?
yes. When he flies by the office building, they shoot from inside, and you see people like, "What is that? What's going on?" And he flies by, and like some of
Supposed to all be in the bunkers already.
I'm like, have you not seen half of this city get destroyed in the last like 15 minutes? Or are you that into your work that you can't leave? So yeah, that was something that I thought was pretty dumb. But so most people that I know that have seen Godzilla, the buddy I went and saw it with, he's kind of like me, that it was good, but not as great as it could be.
All right, what was the guy's name? It was Ford. His name was Ford, right?
The main guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Like okay. That's just a dumb name. Okay. Okay. My question. Okay, this is a spoiler alert. When at that opening sequence, when his mom is dying in the tube,
Hmm.
because the other because the mutant or whatever, the pods and stuff that are eating the radiation like comes up,
Yeah.
eating the thing. If it's eating the radiation, she wouldn't have died.
Well, no, see, when that happens, like it's tunneling itself up to like store up, and so there's probably some excess radiation that has gotten out.
Maybe.
Um, and I think it was
Like,
just in her spot. Yeah, you know what? God, I didn't even think of that because now that you think of it, when they jump 15 years, the area is
there's
clean.
no radiation. There's no radiation at all.
So maybe there was some radiation, and as the years go by, that thing starts like absorbing it from the area around it. I
Yeah.
don't know. We're thinking too much. This, you know what? I saw another buddy of mine had posted on Facebook and was talking about like, oh, I just watched Godzilla. It's been a long time since a movie made me feel like I was 8 years old again. And one of the comments, somebody said, you know what? I thought I'd never say this, but this is actually a movie that would have been perfect for Michael Bay to direct. And I kind of
It
agree with
actually
him
might have. It might have been.
because
True that.
Godzilla didn't need this like emotional backstory and
It wasn't that emotional.
yeah. I mean, you could have used the two scientist guys. Bryan Cranston's character was great because he would have been the guy that knew how to
Shia
fix it.
LaBeouf.
Knew how to fix it. No, no. Um, but then you get this guy who's not even a real soldier. He's an EOD in the Navy.
Oh yeah. Sorry, Drew.
And Wes. Actually, I said that because we're watching the movie and I hear a guy behind me say, "Oh, I thought this guy was going to be in a real branch of the military." Because when he comes out, he's got the Navy land ACUs or whatever they call. I don't know what
GPUs.
Navy. Well, no, ACUs is what like the military calls. They're the digicamo.
Oh, the ABUs.
Is that what the Navy calls theirs?
Maybe the Air Force does. The Air Force calls theirs ABUs, I believe.
I don't know.
Oh well, Drew, you can
Yeah.
put subtitles wherever you need them.
And so I thought that was funny that the dude was like, "Oh, I thought this guy was gonna be a real branch of the military." I was like, "Ha!"
I mean, I yelled at one point when during that last sequence at the beginning where Godzilla finally like stands up and like roars.
Yeah.
It gets quiet for a second, and I immediately said, "Honey Badger, don't give it," and like left it at that. And the entire audience just starts cracking up laughing because he looks like Honey Badger. That he's got like the short, stubby arms,
Yeah.
the neck that comes at an angle, and he looked like Honey Badger to me.
Yeah.
And I just love that I said that. And oh goodness, like the last time I remember somebody yelling something or saying something in a movie and like the whole crowd reacting was I had gone to see I Am Legend, and when the dog dies, like I can't remember what year it was, but when the dog dies, this guy a couple rows away from me goes, "Michael Vick," and the entire crowd just goes, "Oh." Collectively.
That's terrible. Uh, so yeah, they've already pretty much greenlit a new Godzilla.
Yeah.
So even though I know Rob, and this will be kind of where we start ending things, that you wasn't the biggest fan of this movie.
I enjoyed it from a purely theatrical, like, I don't know, it looked good. It looked
Yeah.
good. From a
What would you like to see
cinematic standpoint, I did not.
in a sequel? Because I tell you the truth, I doubt the guy that directed this one will be involved with the next one
I don't
because
think
he
so.
just got he's now part of the first standalone Star Wars movie. So he's directing Star Wars I forget what they're the side movies, the standard where they're gonna focus on one character like each movie. He's tied to that. And that's coming out in 2016. So I doubt he's going to be involved with it.
7.
Hmm?
That's not episode 7.
No, it's not episode 7. Basically, what they're going to do is between episode 7, 8, and 9, they're going to have. Is that Godzilla?
No, I live right in the middle of 3 airports.
Okay. Yeah, so basically what they're doing between 7, 8, and 9, they're going to have these standalone movies come out that like help bridge the story. And I think so. He's tied to the first one, and I forget the guy who's writing it. He used to be the editor in chief for PC Gamer. He wrote Book of Eli.
That's a good movie.
Yeah. Um,
You got a notification.
so who would you like to see direct, and what would you like to see the movie be more of?
You know what? Now that you said it a second ago, I would enjoy. I liked the Transformers movies, not from a cinematic standpoint, but from a I don't know.
I'm
Whatever.
gonna turn my brain off, get a big thing of popcorn, and for two
Yeah,
hours watch explosions. And
exactly. I would enjoy seeing Michael Bay direct the second one. Um, I think for me, I need to see more fighting. I need to see more like actual action and less story.
yeah, um, for me as a director, who I would like to see it. I mean, the first one that comes to mind is Guillermo del Toro,
Guillermo.
whatever, Guillermo del Toro, um, because I mean, Pacific Rim is a good movie. Don't get me wrong. I think though, because I have watched Neon Genesis Evangelion, and that is basically what Pacific Rim is a live action version of that animated series. That Pacific Rim does not hold a high place in my heart as some people I know with that movie. But God bless it, I need to get another camera.
Um, you know the clip. I actually bought a clip because my TV's really thin from my PlayStation Eye. I bought a clip that sits on the back that it sits on
Well,
top.
my other webcam is fine. It just sometimes likes to act stupid, and so I still had this one plugged in. It didn't check the other one. So, anyways, uh, he comes to mind. I would, yeah, I would like to see more action. The story stuff changed. I would rather see more like scientist guys trying to figure out how to stop or like how to counter it, and less of a soldier guy in the mix, and also less of, hey, this is what that person running in this Godzilla movie, this is what that movie would look like from their point of view. I want less of that. Uh,
Less Cloverfield.
more
Uh,
Pacific
more
Rim
Transformers.
punching, yeah, more Transformers. um,
In a Guillermo del Toro style.
and before we close out, a little bit of like upcoming potential stuff, some big changes, some big new things coming up with cross console. We've got a new, I guess, what will eventually be our main site. You probably know a little more right now.
We were allowed to talk about this yet?
Oh, never mind. I well, I'll
All right.
just from the YouTube page. Look, I'll say this just from the YouTube page. Looking at maybe expanding this some more out.
Yeah.
We're going to spend the summer doing some different videos, some more gameplay, maybe some other style videos like this, like more back and forth, like argument style. Maybe one where we watch a trailer and talk about it. And then by summer's end, hoping to actually basically have this page worked out and have some professional look to it. I know right now we don't have like a real back picture on our YouTube page, and
Yeah, I'm working on that.
and going to start actually putting things into the playlists and stuff. We've got some more guys with the site that have some experience doing gameplay videos. So just leave some comments, shoot an email. It's crossconsolegamer@gmail.com on what you would like to see. If you would like to see these videos keep going on. We've also talked about starting doing a traditional podcast or two.
Mm-hmm. We've got a lot of things on the books that we wanna put in place. So you just gotta stay tuned.
Yeah. So, like I said, feedback is very important right now as we try, and since we, in like the last 2 weeks, have gained like 2,000 followers, Uh,
If you guys could go up to the website, go to the forums, and leave us any feedback, leave it as comments. Go to Facebook, wherever.
yeah. All right.
Have a Twitter?
And what?
Do we have a Twitter?
Yes. I
We
don't
do.
know what it is. Let me check real quick.
We do.
You know what? I will. Yeah, I will leave that in the status or in the information about on this video.
All right. All right, people.
All right, guys. It's been real. It's been fun, and it's also been real fun.
It's
Thanks
good
for
stuff.
watching.